Hey you probably clicked on this video looking for help on how to get better at Call of Duty. You had to find out a solution towards it. And I promise you, if you give me a couple of minutes, you're gonna find some of the information I'm gonna give you in this video so helpful that I hope that I can change your gameplay and the way how you think of the game. So many of you probably do not know who I am. Like, who's OmieSaiyan? Why does this guy think he has a sense to even instruct how we should play the game? I'll tell you why. Basically started out from when I was 13, 14, playing game battles in Call of Duty Ghosts is where I started. Wanted to be a Call of Duty professional player like my whole life. Spent years and years competing in LANs, tournaments, wagers, and played almost everyone you can think of. In Advanced Warfare, I played against E6, the team that was winning like almost every event. I played against Team Caliber in World War II constantly in like 2Ks, 5Ks when they were winning tournaments. And a lot of the incoming players that are like considered the young guns, I've had the chance to play against them several times myself. And especially if you're sitting in that seat wondering how to become a better player, you're looking at a guy that literally critiqued this gameplay like hundred thousands of times. Let's get into the lesson today, and hopefully you can, by the time you watch this entire video, you yourself can be a better Call of Duty player and just smoke everybody else. All right, first time when you get on a game, of course, you're gonna want to warm up these. No special attachments on the controller, of course. And make sure when you get on that you're basically just warming up your shot. There's nothing too serious about this. It's just making sure that you're warmed up before you go into rank play, unless you want to get your banned. And just base it off how you're feeling. Honestly, some days are just basically your shots really on. Some days it's just not. So you require yourself to warm up longer than usual. And like, you don't need to freaking go pop addy and just like go hop on rank play. Okay. The other day, literally heard some crackhead just go in his in his mic while calling out. I was like, dude, and then he still lost to me. Like, you know what I mean? So here when I'm playing free for all, when I start off, you can basically just like don't even jump and just sort of control his center dot while you're playing. But you see, it helps extremely a lot. And just imagine you playing different maps, and you know you're gonna be seeing ARs in their like posted up spots, or you know someone's gonna be sitting in a spot and hardpoint that everybody uses. And then the next thing, I'll probably get like right into it. As you guys can see, movement is a huge part of my gameplay. So what I'll do is I'll start jumping around walls and practice jumping up and forward, because sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you'll be jumping to the left, sometimes jumping to the right, jumping straight up. It's all randomized depending on how your opponent plays against you. Is practice dolphin diving around walls, like acting like you're like, I guess, repositioning yourself, and get used to this movement. Dolphin diving, jumping, and just like standing straight and shooting is like the best three things I think you can do in free for all. I promise you consistently do this like before you get on, regardless if it's Warzone, rank play, you are literally gonna fry. Tip number 2 is basically understanding what the game is basically telling you, learning the game as itself, and basically every situation that you're put into that you know like how to take it on. See, a lot of us play hardpoint and control, and we just spawn up and we just go like engage in that next gunfight without thinking inside of our head like, why the hell did the game like spawn us here? So I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios, basically like ask you questions and ask like you're actually answering me like I'm right in front of your face. The one P1's right there, right? But all of a sudden you spawn up right here and you're like, what the heck, like what's going on, right? This is basically called, so like just think for a second, where do your enemies? So in this scenario, like they're basically spawning where you have your reticle, but through that wall, like catwalk area and restaurant area. Why are they spawning there? Let's take a look at the tech mini map. So as you guys can see, we're right here in this like lounge map or area. They're spawning over here in this restaurant area. All right, so let's act like we're at P2, right? Look at this tac map, and you have this side of the spawn pushed out, this middle center covered. So where are they gonna spawn? There's 2 different sites they could spawn, so just think of it, right? Some 1 or 2 can possibly spawn like middle map right here, where they'll start pushing like main reception area, or most of them should be spawning like Shandy side, because you actively pushed and blocked this side. You block the spawns from them coming there. So in this scenario, when you're P2 and there's like 30 seconds in and you really want to rotate, usually I rotate through this like a restaurant area right here, the rugs area. When I hit 30 seconds, I go and I get those kills along the way to rotate and make these guys spawn out, make the enemies, when I kill them, hopefully I'm hoping that they spawn back here. And sometimes they won't. Sometimes where they're going to spawn is in the area where I'm basically sitting, like right here. The same exact way how I explained the P1 spawn is that when I'm pushing like rugs and I'm going to P3, going to freezer. So like maybe I push out like the side door right here and hold the control, like I could watch their cross right here. For those ARs, for you guys like that play these back spawns areas, like, you know, like sometimes you guys like to play this, and it's because it's perfect. It's like you're watching these guys rotate here because you know they're coming, unless they push out their entire P1 or mid-map side. So tip number 3 is how to manipulate spawns. There's so many times where people mess up spawns. I feel like ARs get way more pissed about it. I remember my AR player just like, well, we spawned out. It's like, thanks for the announcement, man. When P3 is active and you guys are fully set up on this hill, right? You got like 4 down. I think a lot of you guys have this question is to be like, how do I get these guys to spawn right here in bottom art? I figured this out on accident like way earlier in rank play because I got a 4-piece in one of my earlier videos where these guys just lined up and I got a 4-piece. I'm not gonna lie, I think I was like somewhere near a gate and I pushed out here, not too far up ahead, right? What's causing, if you push out way too far, I think it's beyond just like statue limit. So like if you cross this line, I mean obviously they're gonna spawn somewhere else, but to where I heard them like spawn 1 2 and started running right here. I think it's like amazing that like if you have one guy right here on this setup right here blocking this gate spawn, but like you'll see like guys just sitting on a statue all game long, right? They got this pushed out from P3. It's so easy to spawn trap, but you gotta remember they're gonna wrap back P1, so this is when you're probably gonna have to like come over here and just like, you know, change spots and make sure you just hold that. 4th tip I have for you guys is pressure. If you're in a position where, again, I said it before, no matter if you get 2 to 3 down or you're in that spot that can just like, you can take over, apply pressure to that. I think is a hard concept to understand how to push out. So I'm going to show you this one clip to. So here in this clip, this is Darkwall hardpoint. So as you guys can see, 162, 168 score, right? This is a really close game going on. Thank goodness my teammates basically pushed up, like has the back spawn. I'm assuming he's sitting back rock. So yep, I right there. I know they're spawning like right here, P1. I get 1 kill, I get a 2nd. This is huge. I'm already on a 5 streak. The reason why I'm allowed to do this is because my teammate is holding spawn back there, and look, just like this is what I'm talking about, playing aggressively, right? So I have dome pushed out. Where do they spawn, right? I know it. They're over here spawning on the arches right here in the ruin side, whatever you want to call that. Boom, that's 1 kill. My teammate's watching ruins. Boom, that poor kid's gone. He's not playing rank play anymore. Easy. Look at the score, 196, 200 almost. I just secured like 40 points for our team right there. That's called pushing out and getting those kills in a rotation. Bam, look at that timer. You see that? That is 25 seconds where I start pushing through. All these kills that you're getting right here are gonna hopefully spawn them out towards that back rock area. That's what you want. That's what you need to understand. When do I push out? To basically spawn these guys out and get these big kills on rotation. Mess around with it if you still don't know how to do on rank play. It's always a learning moment, but once you have this down, I promise you it's going to change so many games. How to call out. So obviously we all know call outs in this game by now, so let's take that calling out to a level 2, level 3. Let's act like we just see this guy top map and he just wraps back into those doors and he's playing some spy. You don't know where he's at, right? So let's say I'm coming around this wall. I'm like, yo guys, okay, you see this guy and you're like, hey, he's top maps, but like he runs away from you. Just like say it to your teammates, just be like, hey, he's running back, he's maps, he could be like your map stairs. I'm gonna go for him, right? So here we go, pushing through this bottom maps, and let's see. And then if you get this kill, good. Let's just tell your teammates that, hey, I took care of top maps. He's dead. The biggest mistake I see all the time, that one kid that goes on a 6-7 spree, starts getting streaks out of nowhere, and you're just questioning yourself as to what the hell just happened. People don't understand. It's like you just got to communicate to your teammates to tell them what you're doing. Like, instead of just sitting here going like, oh, he's main hall, he's entrance. Like, look, ironic enough, but like just look at these like places that's called munition stables. Just sitting here going like stables, munitions, like, right? Just tell your teammate, hey, he's laying down on like a hard point, or he's laying down on benches or something, to where like they know where to actively think, like, right? If someone tells me he's laying down benches, look at my cursor. My cursor is gonna be like right here, the center dot. I think sometimes we forget that we're like speaking to another person, so sometimes you gotta draw pictures for them to where they understand. But like, I'm gonna give you guys a hint. I remember when I was competing, like my teammate would tell me like to go push out or go cause havoc, like, you know, 3-4 down. Like those moments, like my eyeballs would just go like wide open because I just knew I was gonna have fun. Like when my teammate told me to go push out, it was like, you know, ecstatic, like fun time, like get cracked, like that type of moment. Like, right? Like if you see your teammate just sitting there, he's like, hey dude, just go attack him. Like, make them feel like they're like the confidence, just like encourage that morale to where you just like tell them to go shit on people, because sometimes people don't know how to properly do things. But when you're in game, just make sure you tell them how to play properly. 7th tip is watch your favorite player. The sub machines I love to watch from my personal point of view like was Zuma, Attach, Scump, Lilium. When I saw him on like IW, I remember that dude was like frying everybody. I'm assuming you run an AR, you run a sub for a specific reason. You like that like type of game style, and you want to learn from other people when you watch them. So watch like the guys that are best in the game. I think everyone has a unique ability to their own gameplay, whereas like I play like a little bit, you know, differently compared to like someone like, I don't know, like Simp. I don't know how he plays, but we all have our little incy bitty things that make ourselves the player that we are. So like if you guys are AR players and you don't know if you're doing something correctly, watch like Octane, Accuracy. Like those two guys I would hate to play against because of how patient they are, and they'd probably make me lose my mind. But absolute turrets to both of them. To see how they're like rotating, where they're setting up, and how they play, to understand how to play that main AR role, to watch over your teammates. Just sit there and just like go into his stream or watch some of his biggest matches and just like think like you're actively like you're as if you're the player, if that makes sense. So like just think like, what would I do? Like, oh, that makes sense, he's rotating to do this. Boom, you're gonna learn so much more from learning and watching that. This tip, most of us are just so concentrated on SR, trying to rank ourselves up, that you gotta understand like winning, of course it's important. You're not gonna win that if you do not know how to correct your mistakes that you're making from previous games. I mean, we as players make mistakes every single time. It's impossible. Like every mistake you make, just ask yourself, make sure like, what should I have done in this search and destroy round? Should I have planted that bomb? Should I have checked it in this certain scenario? Should I help my team in hill, or should I have rotated? Mistakes I tend to make, from what I've noticed from playing rank play, is hard point games. I'm probably gonna have like engagement, sometimes even 60 engagement. I tend to over chow in a lot of situations where I shouldn't be. You know, rotating late, right? If you guys haven't learned, if we're like not rotating early or late, or so again, decision making, make sure you're just like effectively learning based on every decision. You gotta understand, every game you play, you're making like thousands of decisions, right? It's impossible to learn from every one of them. Make sure to develop that like level of thinking. One of my favorites, I've been dying to say this: keep your composure. There is no reason for you to be losing your mind like first hill into the game and just screaming at your teammate. Dude, if you want to piss off, like I think like the biggest trash talkers, like out of just like regular public matches, go into rank, dude. All the things some people say, act like they've like earned like a lot of money by playing video games. Like like you're not gonna learn if you do not mentally prepare yourself. You're not even losing due to gameplay, you're losing just to getting mad at the game. Example 1, right? Go on TikTok, go on YouTube, just go look up rank play, right? Look at the comment section right here. The comment section, my teammates, oh dude, like I'm gonna cost it like every game. Oh dude, like why do I get bad teammates? Dude, if like 90% of you guys are complaining, it just makes me think and just sit here go like, huh, I wonder, people have bad games, people have good games. Like chillax, dude. Like if you see your teammate doing something wrong, say it mid-game, say something. So again, control your emotions, focus up, and you do not need to get mad. I don't even get mad anymore. I've had years of competing. I don't even hardly ever get pissed off, but it's like, so again, composure, big thing, control your emotions. Okay, so those are my tips on basically how to get better at rank play, basically multiplayer. I hope that like helps you guys out on how to become a better Call of Duty player. A lot of like very simple things that some of you might think like simple call outs, but again, like you look at Warzone, like what were you hearing in your ear? Oh, he's right there, right? Like it just doesn't make any sense. So just building up on a lot of things that I just told you here, whether it be like tip 4, tip 6, just something out of this video that I just shared with you guys, gonna make you a better player, and hopefully you'll be able to rank up past that patch that you might be at. So hope you guys enjoy the video. If you really liked all these tips, I will definitely make a part 2 video on this. Thank you for watching. OmieSaiyan. I'll see you freaking later.